It is midnight. A storm is battering the walls of an ancient fortress, but the thunder sounds like screaming. Standing on the ramparts is a 7-year-old boy. He is surrounded. Above him, massive coiling shapes block out the moon, dragon gods, demanding his blood. Behind him, the soldiers he was born to lead are cowering in fear, and standing right in front of him is his own father, handing him a sword. Most myths are about heroes killing monsters to save the world, but this story, it's different. This is the story of a child who realized that to be free, he didn't need to kill the monster. He needed to unmake himself. This is the legend of Ne Zha. It's a tale of magic, fire, and resurrection. But at its core, it is a brutal, heartbreaking question written in blood. What do you do when the people who gave you life are the ones who won't let you live it? To understand the end, we have to look at the beginning. And the beginning was unnatural. In the ancient Shang dynasty, the world was a place where the barrier between the human and the divine was paper thin. Guarding this barrier at the Chentong Pass was a commander named Li Jing. Li Jing was a man of absolute order. He was a general who believed that everything had a place, and everything outside of that place was a threat. If Li Jing was a gardener, he was the type who would cut down 1,000 beautiful flowers just because they weren't growing in a straight line. But chaos was growing right inside his own house. His wife, Lady Yin, had been pregnant for 3 years and 6 months. Now in Chinese folklore, a long pregnancy isn't a medical anomaly, it's an omen. It means you are brewing something powerful, or something cursed. The servants whispered. The soldiers looked at the commander's house with unease. Li Jing watched his wife's belly grow for 3 years, and with every month, his anxiety turned into suspicion. He didn't feel like an expectant father. He felt like a warden waiting for a prisoner to break out. When the labor finally started, the air in the room turned hot. A red glow filled the chamber. And then, the horror. Lady Yin didn't give birth to a baby. She gave birth to a pulsing, fleshy sack of red membrane. It throbbed like an exposed heart, rolling across the floor like a living thing, smelling of strange flowers and ozone. Put yourself in Li Jing's boots. He's a general. He deals in facts. And the fact before him looked like a demon. He didn't hesitate. He drew his sword and struck the ball. Crack. The flesh split open, but instead of blood, gold light poured out. A boy leaped from the husk. He was born fully formed, his skin white as snow, his eyes burning with intelligence. He was wearing a red sash, the sky-muddling damask, and a golden bangle. He wasn't born crying. He was born armed. This set the tone for everything that followed. Ne Zha didn't come into the world seeking warmth. He came as a warrior, and his father didn't welcome him with a hug. He welcomed him with a sword stroke. Li Jing saw a monster, Lady Yin saw a son, and Ne Zha, he was just a spark looking for something to burn. Seven years pass. Ne Zha grows up, but he doesn't grow tame. He is pure, unfiltered energy. He is a god in a child's body, with zero concept of consequences. One hot summer day, he goes down to the Nine Bend River to cool off. The heat is oppressive, so he takes that red sash, which is actually a cosmic artifact capable of shaking the heavens, and dips it in the water to wash it. Here's the thing about divine weapons. They don't come with safety manuals. Ne Zha thinks he's just doing laundry. But that sash shakes the very foundations of the physics engine of the world. The vibrations travel down, miles deep, all the way to the bottom of the Eastern Sea, smashing into the crystal palace of the Dragon King. Imagine a child playing with a toy in the bathtub, not realizing that every splash is causing a 9.0 earthquake in the apartment downstairs. Pillars of jade shatter. The ocean floor cracks. The Dragon King, Ao Kuang, is furious. He sends a scout, a yaksha, named Li Gun, to see what's happening. This yaksha is a nightmare creature. Indigo face, cinnabar, red hair, massive fangs. He rises from the waves and screams at the child. Ne Zha, being 7 years old and a god, doesn't like being yelled at. He looks at this monster and thinks, what an ugly beast. He throws his golden ring. It hits the yaksha on the skull. One hit. Instant death. Brains and blood splatter across the rocks. Ne Zha shrugs. To him, it was like swatting a fly. But to the universe, he just murdered a federal officer of the sea. This brings out the Dragon Prince, Ao Bing. He rises from the waves on a majestic beast, wielding a halberd. He is the nobility of the ocean. He demands justice. Ne Zha doesn't understand justice. He understands winning. He creates a firestorm, blinds the prince, and strikes him down. And then, he does something that chills the blood, something that shows just how disconnected his morality is. Ne Zha looks at the dead dragon, currently in his beast form, and thinks, my father's armor needs a new belt. This dragon's tendon looks tough and magical. I'll take it to him. He pins the dragon down. He rips the spine tendon out of the prince's body while the dragon is still twitching. It is gruesome, but it's also heartbreaking. In his twisted, childish logic, this is an act of love. He thinks, I will bring a gift to my father. Then maybe he will look at me with pride instead of fear. He walks home, dragging the bloody tendon behind him, smiling. He doesn't understand that you cannot build a family bond on top of a corpse. But Ne Zha wasn't done. If the dragon incident was the spark, the next mistake was the gasoline. While Li Jing was panicking about the dead dragon prince, Ne Zha got bored. He climbed the fortress tower and found an old bow and arrow resting there, the sky-quaking bow, a relic of the ancient Yellow Emperor. Ne Zha, curious, picked it up. He didn't aim at anything. He just pulled the string and fired an arrow toward the southwest, just to see how far it would go. It went far. Miles away, on Skeleton Mountain, a stone spirit named Lady Rock was sitting with her disciple. The arrow dropped out of the sky, guided by fate, and pierced the disciple's throat. Dead instantly. When Lady Rock traced the arrow back to Li Jing, the commander broke. He dragged Ne Zha to the mountain to apologize. But even then, Ne Zha couldn't help himself. When Lady Rock demanded answers, Ne Zha attacked her. He was incapable of submission. It took the intervention of his master, the immortal Taiyi Junren, to save them, but the damage was done. Li Jing looked at his son and realized, this boy is not just a rebel, he is a magnet for disaster. Every time Ne Zha moved, people died. And Li Jing, the man of order, was responsible for the chaos. The father began to hate the son, not out of malice, but out of sheer terrifying exhaustion. Consequences always catch up eventually, usually all at once. The Dragon King, Ao Kuang, returns, but he's not alone. He gathers his brothers, the Dragon Kings of the Four Seas. They bring a storm so massive, it threatens to drown the entire Chentong fortress. They deliver an ultimatum to Li Jing. Give us the boy, or we drown everyone. Your wife, your soldiers, the innocent villagers. Everyone dies. Li Jing looks at the dark clouds. He looks at the rising water. And he makes his choice. He turns on Ne Zha. He weaponizes his grief. He screams at the boy, calling him vile spawn, blaming him for ruining the family name, for bringing disaster to their door. He tells him that he should never have been born. Ne Zha stands there, cornered. He looks at his mother, weeping in silence. He looks at his father, trembling with rage and fear. And suddenly, the boy understands. In the ancient world, there is a concept called filial piety. It means your body is not your own. It is a loan from your parents. Your skin, your hair, your bones, they are gifts from your ancestors. To damage them is a sin. But Ne Zha realizes that this gift has become a chain. His father owns his body, and his father is rejecting him. The debt has become unpayable. So, Ne Zha decides to settle the account. He decides to declare bankruptcy on his own existence. He climbs to the highest wall. The rain is black. The dragons are swirling. He shouts to the gods, "I will save my parents. I am the one who acted alone. I will pay alone." Then he turns to Li Jing, and he says the words that have echoed through Chinese history for 500 years. "I return my flesh to my mother. I return my bones to my father. From this moment on, we are strangers." He raises the sword. The fortress went silent. The only sound was the wet slick of the blade and the heavy thud of bone hitting the stone floor. He cuts the meat from his frame. That is the yin, the mother's contribution. He dissects his own skeleton. That is the yang, the father's structure. It is a sacrifice, yes, but it is also a transaction. He is physically handing back every ounce of biological matter he ever received. He gouges out his intestines to show he has no gut feelings left for them. He is buying his freedom with his life. The storm clears. The dragons leave, satisfied. The debt is paid. Ne Zha was dead, but in Chinese mythology, death is just a bureaucracy change. His soul drifted in the wind. He appeared to his mother in a dream, begging her, "Mother, build me a temple on Sui, Ping Hill. If mortals worship me, I can gather enough incense to be reborn." Lady Yin, heartbroken, secretly built the temple. And it worked. The temple of the flying tiger became famous. Miracles happened there. Ne Zha was becoming a benevolent spirit, independent of his father. He was finding his own way. But Li Jing found out. One day, the commander saw the crowds climbing the hill. He saw them worshiping the rebellious son, and the old rage returned. Li Jing marched up the hill. He saw the clay statue of Ne Zha, smiling and peaceful. Li Jing took his golden whip and smashed the statue to pieces. He burned the temple to the ground. He scolded the worshippers, driving them away. This is the turning point. The sacrifice was a tragedy, but this was a declaration of war. Li Jing didn't just want his son dead, he wanted him erased. He refused to let Ne Zha exist, even as a memory. Ne Zha watched from the spirit world as his father destroyed his last chance at peace, and the sadness in his soul turned into something colder. It turned into eternal hatred. Ne Zha's soul fled back to his master, Tai Yi Junren. The master saw that the boy's destiny wasn't finished. But Ne Zha had no body. He had returned it. So, the master built him a new one. Not out of flesh and blood, which carry the weight of lineage and DNA, but out of lotus flowers. He used lotus roots for bones, lotus leaves for skin, a golden elixir for blood. Ne Zha opened his eyes. He is alive, but he is no longer human. He had no parents. He had no ancestors. He was a child of the wild earth and the divine magic. He was pure, and he was angry. His first act as a lotus god was to hunt down Li Jing, not to hug him, to kill him. He flew to Chentong Pass on his windfire wheels, screaming his father's name. Li Jing was terrified. He saw the ghost of his son descending like a meteor. Li Jing ran. The great commander, the man of order, fled like a coward. He ran into his second son, Ne Zha, and begged for help. Ne Zha tried to stop Ne Zha, scolding him for being unfilial. Ne Zha laughed. "I have no father. I returned my bones. I owe him nothing." He blew past his brother and cornered his father. He raised his fire-tipped spear to end the cycle of trauma once and for all. It ends only because the gods intervene again. A higher deity, the burning lamp Daoist, steps in. He doesn't fix the relationship with therapy. He fixes it with force. He gives Li Jing a weapon, the Golden Pagoda. It's a magical prison. When Li Jing lifts it, Ne Zha is sucked inside and burned by magical fire until he screams for mercy. He is tortured until he submits. He is forced to bow. He is forced to call Li Jing father again. And this is the tragedy that lingers. Look at any statue of Li Jing in a Taoist temple today. He is always holding that pagoda. He never puts it down. Why? Because he knows that the moment he drops it, his son will kill him. It is the perfect image of a broken family, a father who can only command respect through force, a son who obeys only because of pain. They are locked together for eternity, not by love, but by a prison cell held in the father's hand. The story of Ne Zha is ancient, but it feels incredibly modern. We live in a world where we are often told that we owe everything to where we came from, that our duty to our past, our family, or our nation is more important than our own soul. Ne Zha is the patron saint of the misfit. He is the god of everyone who ever felt that they had to tear themselves apart just to fit into the box their parents built for them. He represents a terrifying but beautiful truth. Sometimes you have to lose everything, even your own flesh and bone, to find out who you really are. The lotus grows from the mud, but it is not stained by the mud. It stands above it, clean and white. So, when you see the image of the boy on the wheels of fire, don't just see a superhero. See the scar, see the sacrifice. And ask yourself, are you living your own life? Or are you just holding on to the bones someone else gave you? Thanks for watching. Until next time, listen for the echoes.